Welcome everyone to ComputerCare's webinar series. I'm joined with my colleague Jack here, and today we're going to take you through some questions to arm you in your vendor search in the ITAM space. We're going to talk through how to identify contractual commitments from empty promises and why that matters, what the true impact is as you're going through and identifying the right partner for you. As mentioned, my name is Melissa Ryder, or Mel Ryder, and my colleague Jack is joining me on this call. ComputerCare is an IT asset management company providing support both for on-site and remote employees. We are an authorized device repair provider, offering certified on-site repairs and off-site repairs for brands like Apple, Dell, Lenovo, HP, and more. Pretty much any standard OEM we can support. And we are also an authorized reseller of those same brands, really just being a one shop for all your procurement, IT asset management needs. So our agenda today, we're going to talk through SLAs versus SLOs, customer support and service through ITAM providers, device lifecycle from pickup through deployment, pricing models and what you need to look for and are actually paying, security and data, talking through chain of custody and NIST compliance. And then we're going to provide you with an evaluation checklist that you can hopefully use in your search for the right vendor for you. So SLO versus SLA. I feel like the most common term you hear is a service level agreement. This is a contractual agreement. It has defined timelines, defined consequences, and it covers all services and scenarios. You will find this in the actual service contract. Another term, not as common, but we hear this in the ITAM space, is a service level objective. The difference between a SLA and an SLO is that an SLO is not contractually binding. It's more of a guideline and a suggestion of when the service or scenario is going to be addressed. There's no actual defined consequence and no actual defined timeline. So very key differentiator between the two. And I think it's most favorable to find an SLA in the agreement so you are protected if something were to go wrong. So what does a real SLA look like, and what are the differences around not just speed, but how it impacts employee productivity, hardware lifecycle, and just overall cost to your business? So we've outlined here a few different SLAs showing ComputerCare's SLAs as well as other providers in this space and how they compare. So the first and foremost largest impact is going to be outgoing device time, right? ComputerCare's SLA for all outgoing devices is 24 hours. And we also have the ability to expedite it even quicker than that. Other providers in this space, we're seeing 3 to 7 business days. And that is if an SLA even exists for those providers. Sometimes that is a service level objective rather than a service level agreement. So getting your devices out obviously reduces downtime, particularly in a break fix scenario where that end user is without a device until they can receive a new working device. Our repair SLA is 7 business days, and we have a question mark in the kind of general provider space because ComputerCare is unique in the sense that we do in-house repair. It's 7 business days from time of diagnosis. So when we receive that device, we diagnose it, and then that 7 business days start. It really depends on parts availability, but since we're working directly with the OEM, we're typically receiving parts within a 24-hour period. So a lot of times it is quicker than the 7 business days, but that is a contractual commitment for us. From a customer service perspective, we don't have a outward facing SLA, but our internal SLA is a 2-hour response time. And these are real employees of ComputerCare that are providing that response. And they're goaled off of making sure their response comes within that 2-hour time frame. And that is within business hours, right, from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific. A lot of other providers in this space provide support, and it may be very quick, but it's oftentimes a chatbot. It's not a real person. And we've all had experience with chatbots. It takes time to get a real person. And I think where the value lies here is having that real person who is responding to you typically understands the business better than any chatbot could, right? They're working with your account day in, day out, familiar with any nuances. So it really makes a difference to get that real person responding from the get go. And then device intake SLA. And this one I think is maybe even more impactful than the outgoing. Obviously, outgoing devices, again, in the break fix scenario, is very crucial. But the reason why device intake is crucial is because your device is aging, right? It's not being able to be used, it's not being able to be redeployed during the intake time. For ComputerCare, we pride ourselves on receiving devices within 48 hours. Really, the internal SLA is 24 hours and what we're measuring ourselves against. But devices coming into ComputerCare are going to be available for redeployment, for repair within a 48-hour timeline. In a stark contrast, other providers in this space are providing intake within a 30-day window. So the devices are really in idle. You don't have visibility to them. So definitely a crucial question to ask when approaching any provider here. Now, what are some red flags that you can look for from like a customer support perspective? We already talked about one, first response being a chatbot, an automated acknowledgement, if you will, that goes into ticketing queues rather than being escalated to a person who truly knows your account, and there's no contractual obligation on the response time. What ComputerCare delivers, our first contact, again, is always a real employee. You have real account managers like Jack and myself who are monitoring your account daily, monitoring queues that your devices are sitting in to make sure we're meeting those SLAs. The customer service team, again, is always on with that 2 hour response time. And we do not have chatbots. So we own the accountability from every touch point with our customer.
The device lifecycle, where vendors cut corners. From an inbound shipping standpoint, there really is a lot of no coordination, and sometimes the end user just has to figure out when the device is going to arrive. With ComputerCare, we manage all pickups and pass over detailed tracking information directly to the user. In addition to that, we also give our customers the ability to use our FedEx account and pass that discount directly over to them. From the receipt and verification stage, a red flag would be the intake process, whether that be the delays on intake or discrepancy detection. And with ComputerCare, we do a dual verification on every inbound device. So discrepancies are reported, and we're actually checking the physical serial number on the device, matching it against what was expected. A stage would be status and visibility, and a red flag would be there are weekly reports sent or reports sent only when you request updates. For us, we provide real-time information, and device statuses in the portal are updated in real time. And from an intake standpoint, everything is received within that 48-hour SLA that Mel spoke about. Another stage is refurbishment and data wiping. A red flag would be there's outsource steps or hidden delays in this process. And with ComputerCare, all of the refresh packages, as we call them, but they include a NIST wipe or an operating system install or a physical cleaning or even provisioning, is done by us and always by a ComputerCare employee. From a repair and deployment stage, a red flag would be third-party repairs, or they have to ship your device somewhere else to actually get that warranty repair completed. And what that leads to is just unpredictable turnaround times and increased fees. With us, we have certified technicians and a direct 7 business day SLA in the contract. Pricing: pay for work done, not for a year of maybes. In the space, we often see per seat pricing. So you're paying by head count regardless of role type, and costs don't flex up or down during slow periods. And it really benefits the vendor, not you, the end customer. In addition, we also see annual fees that are paid upfront and having to pay for a full year of costs at signing, which really is a significant hit before any work is performed or any device is touched. And there's not a lot of flexibility if your needs change throughout the duration of the contract. With ComputerCare, we do have activity-based pricing, so you only pay for the work that we perform or how many devices we have in storage at any given time. And when you do need us to provision a device or wipe a device or ship out a computer, we bill you separately and individually for that work. There's no surprises, and it really does scale with actual usage. Data security and chain of custody. Call out here is ask vendors to explain their chain of custody, not just hand you a policy document. Big piece in this is data removal or data wiping. Many vendors do treat it as optional or it's an afterthought. With ComputerCare, we follow your requirements. If your security team sets a rule that every device needs to be NIST wiped at intake, it's done and documented by us, and we also provide that certificate of erase upon request as well. And this can be the case if you don't need us to perform a NIST wipe or any sort of data services. We wouldn't, all based on your request and your preference when we set up the account. Another point here is who handles your devices. So is it a third party or a partner network? And what that leads to is no audit trail and just lack of visibility when dealing with multiple partners. And at ComputerCare, we don't use any subcontractors. Every device is handled by a ComputerCare employee. From a security standpoint, always make sure to specifically ask about access controls and surveillance. Again, not just a policy document. ComputerCare does maintain dual badge access for all of our employees, and every room where devices are stored is fully monitored by 24-hour surveillance, especially for our legal and data hold devices, because we know that those shouldn't be touched or accessed by anyone until your direction. Who manages my devices? How do you manage devices globally? If they can't name their partners, that's your answer. As we mentioned at ComputerCare, you always know where your devices are because we give you access to view that information on our portal, and from a handling standpoint, all done by our team. Are the people handling my devices your employees? If not, you can't audit the organization who's actually touching your data and accessing your computers. For ComputerCare, there's no subcontractors. We don't use third parties. It's all done by direct full-time employees. Onboarding and volume flexibility. From an onboarding standpoint, a disorganized or labor-intensive onboarding is really a preview of what's ahead. Our suggestion here is to ask for a defined scope, a fixed fee for onboarding, and try to uncover any surprises before you start. Also, volume flexibility is a call out here. So if flat per seat pricing doesn't flex, you may pay the same whether you're at 10 capacity or 100% capacity. So ask for tiered pricing with monthly adjustments based on actual usage. Hopefully, there are no penalties or no locked in commitments from a volume standpoint either. Your evaluation checklist. So just to recap everything that we discussed is number one, SLA language. Is it in the contract or is it just a goal? What is the processing speed? Meaning, what's the actual SLA for sending out a device or receiving a device? Is it 30 days? Is it same day? And what does the contract actually read? From a support perspective, when does a real person get involved, or do they? Do you have an account manager who's responsible for the success of your account? Outsourcing. Is any work done by direct employees or third-party contractors? Data and security. What measures is the provider taking to secure your data? What's the pricing model look like? And do you pay for a lump sum? Does it scale up or down? Or do you have any flexibility with the model on any given time? Do you have any real visibility into the devices that you have stored by location? Do you have any expedite options? And can you bypass the queue for urgent situations? We know they come up all the time. Finally, do you have onboarding clarity? So is there a defined scope, a timeline, and fixed cost before you sign? Thank you for listening today. Just to recap everything, Mel and myself are two members of the sales team here, and we would love to have a conversation. There's no commitment on your end or any promises made on ours either. Like, we really just want to get the opportunity to help in any way we can, and looking forward to connecting wherever you are with your IT asset management journey, whether you're just looking for information or simply wanting to have a conversation. We're always open to have that. Thank you.